Hi, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and spotlight myself. All right. Happy to have all of you here again today. As a reminder, you can keep your videos off. Um, and that way that you can have your own practice to yourself and you don't have to worry about anyone watching you or your practice. And we're going to get started in just another minute or so. Today, our theme is again grounding. We're working on grounding for the month of July. Last week we did grounding through connection with the earth, and today we're going to focus on grounding with connection with our body. So as always, just the invitation to take your shoes off as you begin. And again, I have some things that I'll say at the beginning, but you can always just begin to build some proprioception with your feet by giving yourself a little foot massage. Or you can just wiggle your toes and see what the floor feels like beneath you. Today I am outside at my parents' house. I'm visiting them. I'm really happy to be here. Um, and that might change what's happening with some of the noises around me. So if you can hear the birds chirping in the background, that's awesome. If the neighbors start mowing their lawn, that's less awesome. Uh, but that's just something that happens when you do yoga outside. So my name is Kelsey. Hello, everybody. I'm a therapist in Washington State, and I'm also a certified yoga instructor. Um, I've pinned myself on the meeting, so you should just be able to see me. Reminder to keep your videos off for today. And you should be able to write in the chat if there's any issues with the audio or any technology things that you need me to attend to. I'll try and keep track of that. We are on our lunch breaks today, so join for whatever length you can today. And if you need to leave early, that's great. You can go ahead and head out to what you're doing. The first 15 minutes of our flow today is going to just be grounding and landing in this space. And then we'll do a little bit of chair yoga. You can also do the yoga seated on the ground if you have your mat with you, but the chair yoga is great if you're at your desk still. And then the last 15-20 minutes of our flow today will be on the yoga mat. And this is mental health on the mat. So I try to integrate mental health tools into our flow. And in particular today, with our focus on grounding through the body, I'm going to be inviting in awareness of the body, specifically cueing through bilateral stimulation. So talking about the right side of the body, the left side of the body. I'll cue for my left and right side. It might be opposite for you. So if you see the video and I'm doing the opposite side as you, that's okay. You can follow along and mirror me, and or you can do your left if I'm cueing your left. So everything I say today is an offering and a suggestion. This is your own practice. You can make accommodations as needed. I usually cue for different levels, and all bodies move differently, look differently. So however your body wants to show up today, different from what it was last week or next week, it's exactly as it should be. So we're going to begin with a body scan meditation, which is one of my favorite grounding techniques to do. And we'll do a body scan meditation, including progressive muscle relaxation. So that'll be more of an active meditation than those of you who meditate maybe are used to. So finding a good, comfortable spot to sit, whether that's on the ground or in your chair. You can close your eyes or soften your gaze as needed. Becoming first aware of your breath, noticing the gentle rise and fall of your breath. You can take your fingers to build this awareness of your breath. So placing your hands on your lower belly, so just below your belly button. And each time you inhale, begin just by noticing the way your belly naturally moves. Or maybe noticing that it doesn't move when you breathe. Seeing if on your next inhale, you can push out with your lower belly to meet your hands, pressing away from your spine. Exhaling, sucking your belly in a little bit, bringing your belly button towards your spine. Breathing in, pressing through your belly into your fingertips. Exhaling, letting the air out. Now moving your fingertips to the base of your ribs. We're going to start at the front of our ribs. So you can just gently hold where your diaphragm connects to your body. Continue breathing, continuing your awareness of pressing out with your lower belly as you inhale, and also noticing what happens to the front of your lower part of your ribs. Inhaling, seeing if you can sync the expansion together with your lower belly and your lower ribs. Exhaling, contracting both, drawing them in closer to your spine. Walking your fingertips over to the side of your ribs, kind of making little chicken arms or monkey arms. And this time, as you breathe in and inhale, imagine your ribs expanding out to the sides, pressing into your fingertips. Still expanding with your lower belly in the front of your ribs. And exhaling, drawing everything closer to your spine. Inhaling, expanding. Exhaling, drawing everything closer to your spine. Walking your fingertips up again to meet your collarbones. Inhaling, noticing the rise of your collarbone. Exhaling, letting everything drop and sink in. Inhaling, connecting your belly, your ribs, your collarbone, expanding out. Exhaling, letting everything go. You can release your hands down to your sides. Continue engagement with this expansive breath. And now draw your awareness to your feet. Begin just by wiggling your toes. And on an inhale, you're going to flex your toes, flex your feet, or you can curl your toes and curl your feet. Build some tension with that inhale. Hold at the top. And as you exhale, let the tension in your feet go. One more time, inhaling, flexing or curling your toes, engaging your feet muscles. And exhaling, letting the tension go. This time, inhaling, engaging your calf muscles, your quads, squeezing your glutes, flexing your feet, your whole lower body engaged. And exhaling, letting everything go. Inhaling, squeezing your legs, You can squeeze them together, you can extend your legs, you can curl them into you, whatever engages the muscles best for you right now. And then exhaling, letting all that tension go. Returning to your core. Inhaling, you're actually going to squeeze your core in, squeezing your belly button, your chest towards your spine as you inhale. Exhaling, letting it release, letting your abdomen just hang out there. Inhaling, creating tension in your belly, in your spine, in your chest. Exhaling, letting that tension go. Starting now with our hands, you can squeeze your hands into fists. You can extend your fingers out long, whatever creates tension for your hands on the inhale. And letting it go on the exhale. Squeezing again to create tension on the inhale. Exhaling, letting all of that go. Bringing your arms into the tension. You can squeeze in close to your chest. You can squeeze out away from yourself. Create the most tension that you can. And exhale, let it go. One more time, engaging your arms, creating tension in your upper body. And exhaling, letting it all go. Now for my favorite part, you are going to squeeze your face, make a funny face. No one can see you, your cameras are off. Inhale. And exhale, let all your facial features go. It's easy for our face to get locked in positions as we're working, maybe like a small smile on our face, but you don't have to have that now. Inhale, create that tension in your brow, your cheeks, your mouth. And exhale, let it all go. When you're ready, you can just notice the places in your body that might still be holding tension. You can engage that tension for a little bit on an inhale. And exhale, let it go. If you're ready, you can bring some light into your eyes. You can refocus your gaze. In learning about bilateral stimulation, what I mean by that is that we are engaging both the left side of our brain and the right side of our brain. So both the analytical side of our brain and the emotional creative processing part of our brain. One way that we're going to do that is by doing a technique called angel wings today. So you can cross your arms in front of you. It doesn't matter which arm is on top, whichever feels more comfortable to you. In general, when using bilateral stimulation, if you go slow, alternating, tapping your left hand to your right shoulder, your right hand to your left shoulder, you're creating a calming and soothing environment in your body for your nervous system, activating your left brain, your thoughts, activating your right brain, your emotions, and letting the two of them both come online to integrate whatever experience you're having. So if you're feeling anxious or disassociated, this can be helpful to calm. Oftentimes in therapy, they'll go faster to help get you a little bit activated, to help process things that are stored in your memory. But for today, we're just going to go nice and slow. So you can return to this at any time in your practice today. If any of the postures are too much, you can always come back to a little bit of bilateral stimulation. I'm going to transition to our chair yoga now. And I'm gonna do it sitting on the chair that is behind me. You can stay on the mat if you're there. You can stay in your chair if you're there. Doing more bilateral stimulation, the first thing that we're going to do is start with our eyes. So keeping your gaze forward, look to the left as far as you can with your eyes. Inhaling and exhaling, returning your gaze forward. Keeping your head centered, inhaling, eyes looking to the right. And exhaling, softening your eyes, returning your gaze forward. This time, inhaling, turning your head to the left. Continue looking as far as you can to the left. And exhaling, returning to center. It's okay if you yawn. Inhaling to the right. It's okay if you sigh. Gaze to the right. That's just your nervous system calming and relaxing. And exhaling back to center. Circling both your arms up on an inhale, grabbing your left wrist with your right hand and gently pulling to the right side of your body, opening the left side into a stretch. Exhaling back to center, grabbing your right wrist with your left hand and reaching over to the left side, opening the right side of your body. Inhaling back to center, reaching up, exhaling, folding forward as much as possible. You can use your hands to help lower you down. You can drop your hands down, wiggle out your head, and inhale to return back to center. Flowing through this one more time with your breath. Inhaling, looking to the left with your eyes. Exhaling, returning to center. Inhaling, looking to the right with your eyes. Exhaling back to center. Inhaling, head turns to the left. Exhaling to center. Inhaling, head turns to the right. Exhaling to center. Inhaling, both arms up, grabbing your left wrist, pulling to the right side. Exhaling to center, switching your grip, and pulling to the left side. Exhaling to center, and folding into our forward fold. Inhaling to a seated position, you can choose to bring your leg up in front of you like this, or you can cross it over. Starting by rolling our right ankle, and we're gonna add in some bilateral stimulation by rolling our left wrist. I have a happy cicada bug who just flew into my hair. Now he's burrowing in the grass. All right, exhaling, releasing that, lifting your left leg, rolling your left ankle, and engaging your right wrist, rolling your right wrist. Exhaling, releasing both of those. This time you'll want to have your feet and knees a little bit wider than hip width apart. You're going to lift up on your toes and slowly rock your knees from side to side. Feet and hips stay connected to the chair and the earth, just gently rocking your hips. Releasing your heels back down to the floor. You can choose to cross your legs in front of you, looks like this, on the ground, or if it's available to you, you can bring one of your ankles up to cross over. So I'm bringing my right ankle up to cross over my left knee. Inhaling our hands up, exhaling hands heart center. Inhaling, lengthening through the crown of our head. Exhaling, twist your left elbow to meet your right knee. Remembering to breathe. Exhaling back to center, shaking out your leg. Again, you can cross with your ankles only, or you can bring your left knee up over your left ankle over your right knee. Inhaling both your arms up, exhaling hands to heart center. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to twist your right elbow to your left knee. Releasing this stretch. If you want, you can return to a little bit of our bilateral stimulation, noticing what is going on in your body, what it's like to feel a little more stretched out, a little more open, a little more aware, and just lock that into your nervous system. Again, returning to our bilateral stimulation, you're going to reach your right leg as far as you can away from your body. Reach your left arm as far as you can away from your body. Inhale, let those parts stretch, creating a long line between your left hand and your right foot. And exhaling, bringing those two as close together as possible. You might wrap your left arm around your right knee to pull it close to your chest. Inhaling, expanding. Exhaling, contracting. One more time, inhaling, expanding. Exhaling, coming home to yourself. Now doing the opposite side. So first your left foot goes as far away from your body as possible. Then your right hand goes as far away from your body as possible, creating a long line between your right hand and your left foot. Seeing if you can stretch just a little bit farther. And exhaling, wrapping your right arm around your left knee. Maybe even tucking your chin, rolling your neck out a little. Inhaling to expand. Exhaling to contract. I'm a person who likes to move, so yoga poses where there's a lot of stillness. I usually find myself rolling my ankle, wiggling my fingers, so however your body wants to move. Inhaling, expanding. Exhaling, coming back home to yourself. And letting both of those go. We're gonna start with some head circles, just very gently and slowly, rolling our head around. Seeing if you can lift your head up and back on an inhale. Coming back down to center on an exhale. And the opposite direction. Bringing your head to a neutral position, circling just your right arm up and around, swinging it straight armed in front of you, creating space and openness in your right shoulder. Again, connecting to your breath. Exhaling when your arm is low. Inhaling when your arm is high. Can you still tap into your belly, your ribs, your collarbone as you move? Switching sides, just your left arm. Inhaling, opening to the left side. And exhaling, letting that go. If you were on the call just for half an hour, you can head off, eat your lunch, return to work, whatever you need to do. I'm going to be transitioning, moving my chair to the side. We do have some balancing poses today, so if you want to keep your chair close by, you're welcome to do that. I'm going to leave my chair at the end of my mat, but not on my mat for today's practice. Just like that. Alrighty. Coming first to a tabletop position on your mat. So that's on your hands and knees. Your knees are directly below your hips, wrists directly below your shoulders. Inhaling, dropping your belly down, chin to the sky. Exhaling, engaging your core, bringing your belly button to your spine, chin to your chest. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling for cat. Coming back to a neutral spine, engaging your core, lifting your left arm out straight in front of you. Gaze can follow your left hand. If it is available to you, and maybe I'm going to scoot forward just a little bit. If it's available to you, you can also lift your right leg, creating a long line between your left hand and your right leg. You can also just stay with your hand. Exhaling both of them down, tucking your toes, kicking your hips up to the sky, downward dog. Shoulders drop down to the mat. You can pedal your left foot, your right foot. Exhaling, dropping back down into our tabletop position. Inhaling, opening to the left by raising your left hand. Exhaling, tucking your left arm under your core, under your right arm. Left shoulder drops to the ground. Inhaling, left arm reaches up to the sky. Exhaling, clamps back down on the mat. Inhaling, come up onto your knees. You're going to bring your right leg forward into a lunge. Your hands can stay on your hips or they can be on your knee. Leaning forward, putting your weight into your front leg. Exhaling back to center. This time straightening your front leg. Hands can again stay on your knees or come down to the mat as you fold over your right leg. Inhale, lift your upper body back to our lunge position. You're gonna tuck your left foot, turn your body so that you're facing the long side of your mat. Your right leg is going to straighten. Arms inhaling up, exhaling down to the left side. Right arm stays up. You can choose to stay in this position for option A. Option B, you can reach your right arm up over your head. And option C, you can lift your left leg to meet your right leg. Exhaling, dropping your left leg down. Inhaling to center. And exhaling, reaching your left arm overhead, creating a crescent as you reach down towards your right leg. Inhaling back to center, tucking your right knee underneath of you. I'm going to turn and face the opposite direction. You can stay in the same direction if that feels better, but we're turning to our tabletop position. Moving through cat-cow, inhaling, looking up to the sky. Exhaling, looking down at your mat. Returning to a neutral spine. This time raising your right arm, and if it's available to you, your left leg. Creating a long line between your right arm and your left leg. Exhaling both back down to the mat, tucking your toes, kicking your heels up to the sky for downward dog. Lengthening as much as you can through the crown of your head and your tailbone. And exhaling back to our tabletop position. Inhaling your right arm to the sky. Gaze follows your right hand. Exhaling, tucking it under your core, under your left arm. Shoulder meets the mat. And inhaling to open to the sky once again. Exhaling both your hands down. Inhaling to our kneeling position. This time bringing your left leg forward. Hands can go on your hips or on your knee, pressing forward into our lunge. Exhaling, straightening your front leg, reaching down to the mat on either side of your leg. Folding forward. Inhaling, your upper body comes up, returning to our lunge, tucking your right foot behind you, straightening out your left leg to the side. Inhaling, arms come up. Exhaling, reaching down to the mat. Remembering our options, this is a great option. One, you can lengthen through your arms, lengthen through the length of your body. Option two, you can add in a side stretch. And option three, you can kick your right leg up to meet your left. No option is better than anyone. They just all feel different and do different things in the body. Exhaling, bringing your right leg back down. Inhaling up, left leg stays long. Reaching towards that left foot, arching overhead, gaze is up. And exhaling back down to our tabletop position. Moving through cat and cow again. Inhaling, dropping your belly down. Exhaling, pulling your belly up. Inhaling, returning to a neutral spine, tucking your toes, kicking up into downward dog. Pedaling out your feet and beginning to slowly walk towards your hands, coming to mountain pose at the top of your mat. Mountain pose, we want to check our alignment with gravity. Our knees above our ankles, hips above our knees, shoulders above our hips, palms open. Stepping back with your left foot about as far as you can. Bending into your front leg, lifting your back heel, raising your arms up, coming into a crescent lunge. Using your hands on your knee to drop your back heel, straighten your front leg, and fold over your front leg. You can choose to drop your hands down to the mat or keep them on your knee. Bring both hands to your knee. Put your weight into your front foot to bring your left foot up to the top of the mat. Drop your hips down, engage your core, lift your arms, your chest for chair pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lengthen again, and exhale your left to your left knee with your right elbow. Remembering to breathe, pressing up with your legs, releasing your hands, coming back to mountain position. You can stay at the top of your mat or come over to your chair to use it to help you balance. We're going to be transitioning into eagle pose. So starting by crossing your left foot over your right foot. And you can stay here if that's what your body wants to do today. You can cross your left arm under your right arm. Let the backs of your hands meet or overlap them. If you want to, you can keep one hand on the chair to help you balance. You can also bring your left foot up to your right knee or completely cross it over. Coming into eagle pose. And then the third option is to drop down into a squat, lifting your arms in front of you, getting a stretch in your upper back. Seeing if even in this pose, you can breathe into your lower belly, your ribs, and your collarbone. Pressing up through the earth, letting all of that release. Folding into a forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthening through your spine. Exhaling, planting your hands and coming back into our tabletop position. Moving through cat and cow. Inhaling, dropping your belly. Exhaling, tucking your belly. Inhaling to neutral, tucking your toes, raising your hips. Coming back into downward dog. Gaze towards your hand, pedal your feet, start to walk towards your hand. Rise up into mountain pose. Checking your alignment, opening your palms out in front of you. Stepping back this time with your right leg. Lifting your heel, Bending your front knee into a lunge, arms raise up overhead. Using your hands on your knee to help you tuck that back heel, straighten your front leg, and fold forward. Hand goes planted on your knee again to bring your back leg to meet your front leg, dropping your hips, raising your chest, arms up for chair pose. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling, twisting to the opposite side. Inhaling, standing up, shaking out your legs, letting it all go. You can stay at the top of your mat or coming back to your chair to use it to balance, this time wrapping your right leg over your left. Your right arm can go under your left, backs to palms to touch or palms to palms to touch. Raising your right leg, dropping into that squat, lifting your arms. Engaging with the fullness of your breath. And exhaling, standing up, shaking everything off. Returning to our bilateral stimulation. You can shake your left leg, right arm. You can shake your right leg, left arm. Inhale, arms up, exhale into our forward fold. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, come back down to our tabletop position yet again. Inhaling through cow. Exhaling through cat. Inhaling to a neutral spine, tucking your toes, raising your hips. And again, walking forward to the top of your mat. Inhaling, body up in alignment with gravity, arms forward, shoulders back. This time stepping back with your left leg, and as you do so, rotate your hips and feet so that they're pointing towards the long side of your mat. We're going to raise our arms up for star pose, one of my favorite poses. Reaching as much as you can in all directions. I love this pose because I still have to remind myself that it's okay to take up space. And this is one of the ways I can let my body know it's okay to take up as much space as I want. Lift up your toes, turn them out to a 45-degree angle. Bend in your knees, bend in your elbows, creating 90-degree angles through your wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles. Coming into goddess pose. Feeling that strength. When it's a little bit too much, you can reach back up into star pose. Take up that space. Exhaling, grounding down into our goddess pose. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling, returning to center, you can heel toe your feet back beneath your hips, cross your arms in front of you, and return to our angel wing. Gently tapping your shoulders. Tapping in any new awareness, any new body sensation, any new insights from your practice today. Releasing your arms. Forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale. This time we're making our way down to a seated position on the mat. We're gonna have our knees bent at an angle in front of us, our hands supporting behind us. Just like we did in the beginning in our chair, we're gonna rock our knees side to side in a windshield wiper fashion. Hips and feet stay on the ground. If you want, since we're nice and stable with 3 points of contact, you can add in some eye movement. So looking to the right when your knees go left, looking to the left when your knees go right. Releasing your eyes, releasing your legs. You can lower down onto the mat. Take any last poses that you want. My favorite is to do star stretch on the ground. So reaching out in all 4 directions again. You can do the opposite, bringing your knees to your chest. Any last little thing your body wants before you enter Shavasana. I'm gonna guide you again through our little body scan meditation, but you can stay in Shavasana on the mat. My voice will guide you in and my voice will guide you out. So returning to your breath, building that awareness with your belly. You can place a hand on your belly, building that awareness with your ribs, building that awareness with your collarbone. Returning to your breathing. Just letting go, being in the moment. If you want, you can bring your arms back to cross over your chest, gently tapping your left hand to your right shoulder, your right hand to your left shoulder. Coming to stillness again. When you're ready, you can begin to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, stretch your arms. You can roll over to one side for fetal position. Press up with your top hand to bring you back to a seated position. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center, or to belly and chest, or crossed in front of you. Whatever helps you integrate this moment. Give yourself a little bit of gratitude. And on your next exhale, let it go and release it all. Thank you everybody for joining the practice today. Next week, we are going to do grounding through practices to bring us into the present moment. So it'll be at the same time on Thursday, and I hope to see you then. Thanks, everybody. Bye.